name is Robert. Myself and my crew at KDS Comics are going to the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, March 9th to 10th at Huntsville, Alabama at the Von Braun Center, South Hall. Guests include Lou Ferrigno, comic book writers Marv Wolfman and Jim Shooter, Power Rangers Karen Ashley, Walter Jones, Kathleen Sullivan, and David Fielding. So we'd like to show you a few of the things we're going to take to our show. We've got some inexpensive toys you can play with here. Here's Dave and a Hello Kitty. We've got a pink Power Ranger. We've got a Pinkie Pie up here. We've got Minnie Mouse. We've got a Walking Dead board game and just a couple of DVDs for Walking Dead full seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make you a nice package deal down here on Yogi Bear, the toy, and the vintage comic book. And we have a few Scooby-Doo toys as well over here. I'd like to show you both. Mostly we're into comics, but a few more toys. We have a Miles Morales, for those of you who can't have enough Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man, first 3 complete seasons of Charmed. We have a nice package deal here for the Emergency 1970s TV show, Season 1, complete DVD, packaged with a vintage comic book from that time frame. Alright, now we'd like to show you some of our nicer stuff from our show. We've got Star Trek, Greatest Star Trek comic, number 18, graded 9.2, Star Trek number 36, graded 9.4. These retail for about $120 each. I'd like to get $120 on these. I'd like to point out some of the other comic books that we've got. We've got lots and lots of comic books. So I picked up recently a number of Amazing Spider-Man comic books in the 100s. This is one of them here, where he's battling Sandman. Got the Early Defenders comics with Women's Lib cover there. Nice Fantastic Four comic with Dr. Doom on the cover. Iron Man 100, Early Defenders comics from Marvel. Over here for DC, we've got this 1940s comic here with Batman, where he gets engaged to Vicky Vale. We've got some action comics, and I don't know what Supergirl's doing there. You'll have to buy it and read that one for yourself. Picked up some Blackhawk comics, and Justice League of America, where they're making faces. So also like to show you a few of the ones that we've had for a while, and we've also picked up recently. Millie the Model, family-friendly comics like the Millie the Model and Sugar and Spike. There's about to be fireworks over there. Nice Star Wars comics from the 1970s. This is the first issue where they went beyond the first Star Wars movie. That's vintage from about 1978. We also have number of Classics Illustrated, for those of you who like the Classics Illustrated. Some cowboy comics, Rocky Lane, Roy Rogers. Got some nice 1950s Mystery in Space. This guy here, he's selling the Earth. I don't know how many times he sold the Earth in the 50s and 60s, but I'm sure it was a bunch of times. I didn't get any, but maybe he made a percentage on that. Here's a nice comic from 1950s with Space Ranger in it down here. I don't know who he's fighting there, but we'll have to figure it out. Some space monster out there or another. Also like to point out some comics we've got that were written by Marv Wolfman. Marv is known for writing Teen Titans. Here's a nice Teen Titans comic here. And as all writers, Marv started out as writing backup stories in Phantom Stranger and Superman Family. Wow, I'm sure you could ask Marv about that. He'll tell you some stories about that, I'm sure. Marv also wrote Amazing Spider-Man. There's some really high-grade Daredevil comics written by Marv Wolfman. Here's a unique comic over here. This one was written both by Marv Wolfman and Jim Shooter. And then we move on to a number of them written by Jim Shooter. Jim's written Avengers comics, Daredevil, his classic Marvel superhero Secret Wars. There's the final Secret Wars issue, and appropriately, Jim Shooter wrote a number of supervillain team-up stories. So you can get this whole essential supervillain team-up and get all 3 or 4 of the stories that Jim Shooter wrote for Supervillain Team Up. Now we got a few other things you can get signed down here. We got Power Ranger Dorbs, Yellow Ranger, Black Ranger, Pink Ranger. We've got 3 Incredible Hulk Dorbs. One's a special issue from Books A Million. And we've got this nice Funko Pop of the Incredible Hulk. All you can get signed here at the show. So that's it for us from KDS Comics. We'll be at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture